Let's get one thing straight. There's no excuses either. No, we were duped. No, he spoke to us. The grift was obvious from day one. Donald Trump didn't whisper sweet nothings to the American worker. He screamed his con into a gold plated megaphone. And the crowd ate it up like it was the gospel. The man was a walking, talking, bloated caricature of greed, and anyone who thought he'd ride in and save the working class deserves every ounce of the economic kick in the teeth they get. Trump's big pitch, I'm bringing jobs back. What actually happened last time? He handed out corporations the biggest tax giveaway in modern history with his 2017 tax cuts, slashing the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%, a move that lined the pockets of the same billionaires who already owned half the country. Meanwhile, working class Americans got scraps, tiny temporary tax cuts that vanished as quickly as they appeared, like a magician's cheap trick. And what did those corporate tax breaks do? Did they fuel some great American manufacturing renaissance? Nope. Companies like GM and Harley Davidson pocketed their cash and shipped jobs overseas anyway. But hey, he fought for the American worker, right? Wrong. He didn't just fail workers, he actively screwed us. Look at his labor policies. From gutting OSHA workplace safety regulations to stacking the National Labor Relations Board with corporate lapdogs. Trump waged war on labor in broad daylight. Unions, he treated them like an enemy of the state. Striking workers, he ignored them unless they were good for a photo op. And all those executive orders he loved to sign on camera, not a single one aimed at improving wages, healthcare, or job security for the people who actually needed it. Then there's the coal miners, those poor, desperate souls who clung to Trump's promises like a lifeline. We're bringing coal back, he said, and they believed him. Spoiler alert, coal didn't come back. It never was coming back. The industry continued its slow, painful death, and instead of investing in retraining programs or renewable energy jobs, Trump fed miners a fantasy while their paychecks evaporated. And let's not forget the health care he tried to strip away from the same workers, fighting tooth and nail to dismantle the Affordable Care Act, a move that would have left millions uninsured and financially ruined. Because nothing screams working class hero like telling people to go bankrupt when they get sick. His infrastructure promises were another joke. Remember Infrastructure Week? Of course not, because it never happened. Roads and bridges continued to crumble while Trump focused on cutting regulations for his golf courses and letting corporate polluters run wild. The only thing he built was a monument to his own ego, and even that came in the form of a border wall that contractors were happy to overcharge the government for and never complete. A perfect metaphor for that lump of goo. Let's not forget his crusade against the minimum wage. While Trump and his cronies talked about boosting the economy, they fought every effort to raise the federal minimum wage above the abysmal $7.25 an hour it currently is at. In their twisted reality, a billionaire living off inherited wealth thought it was too much to pay a living wage. Meanwhile, wages stagnated, rent skyrocketed, and the working class fell further behind. But sure, let's pretend the guy who stiffed his own contractors was going to lift the American worker out of poverty. And for all his whining about the forgotten man, Trump's administration did nothing to help small businesses or working families stay afloat. When COVID hit, The Paycheck Protection Program became yet another slush fund for the rich, with massive corporations grabbing millions while mom and pop shops shut their doors forever. Meanwhile, Trump was too busy ranting about stock market numbers to care about the bodies piling up in hospital morgues. Workers were sacrificed to keep the economy going, forced to risk their lives in unsafe workplaces while Trump downplayed the pandemic like it was just another bad press cycle. And still, through it all, he managed to convince a chunk of Americans that he was fighting for them. That's the most galling part of it all. He didn't have to hide it. He didn't sneak around screwing people over. He did it in plain sight with a gold tie and a thumbs up. But it didn't matter because the GOP has been running the same scam for over a century, and Trump was just their latest and loudest pitchman. Here's the truth: Trump didn't fail the working class. The working class failed itself by believing this bullshit. The signs were there from the beginning, the flashing neon lights. And now the damage is done. The economy isn't built for workers, it's built for CEOs, stockholders, and political cronies. And Trump? He's back in the White House, stuffing his face with Big Macs and planning his next con like he's going to do another rip crypto rug pull. So, yeah, let's cut the sympathy act. No one was duped. They bought the lie because they wanted to. And now we're all paying the price.